go over the Rogues Gallery deck list here. So we start off with 4 Terramorphic Expanses. Now, in the games that I've played with this, very much the goal is to just control over your opponents. So that's going to be the theme when we're looking at this. It's not as good as the other deck, I don't think. It's not as good as a lot of the decks, but you can win games with it. You just got to play it right. The Extract is cool, but you can't really sacrifice the cards. This deck needs to have what it has to do anything. Infiltrate I don't play. Most of your creatures are unblockable anyway. You have creatures that make other creatures unblockable, and you have things that give them fear. Anything that's not unblockable, you just bait in an Agony Warp. So, that's my feeling there. This is your turn 1, this is your turn 2. You don't really have anything better turn 1. Let's get the rest of these guys in here, just so we don't have to look at them. And you can hear that lovely sound. So we play 4 Agony Warps. Target creature gets -3/-0 until end of turn. Another target creature gets -0/-3 until end of turn. It's actually target creature gets -0/-3 until end of turn, but it's just easier to explain it as another creature gets it. Because it can target itself, but most of the time, you don't want to do that unless it's one creature that's causing you problems. You kind of want to attack and provoke the block, give the creature that they're blocking with that you can kill the -3/-0, and then use the -0/-3 on another creature that you can kill with it. Dimir Guildmage, target player draws a card, activate this ability only once. You can only at a time that you can activate a sorcery, and then a discard ability. It's definitely good to play. You need the 2 drops. But the draw ability is nice too. I've cast it multiple times. It's helped me out a lot. So I definitely recommend it. Glimpse the Unthinkable. Target player puts the top 10 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Really only useful when you're playing against a, or playing 2-headed giant with a mill deck, and you can just be like, you're going to lose this game. Just right away. One person just out. But we don't really have that many effects to make them draw, so we'll get rid of it. Ink Fathom Infiltrator, good because you can put things on it like that, or like that. Where is it? The Helm. So he's definitely playable. Should be played. He can't block, but he is unblockable. So I'm not playing the Invisible Stalker just because, I mean, he is hexproof, he is unblockable, you can put things on him, but it's just, you have so many creatures in here already that are good, I just don't see the point for him. As a one-of, it's just, blah. The Mask of Riddles, absolutely a must. It gives a creature fear, which means it can't be blocked except by black creatures, I believe, or artifact creatures, and whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. So, as long as you're playing against a deck that's not black, you're basically guaranteed to draw cards every turn that's equipped to a creature. Walking Corpse, terrible. 2/2 vanilla for 2. 3/2 vanilla for 3. It's just, those are clearly things that you take out. They were the first things I took out. Half your creatures are unblockable anyway. I don't see a point for a Crafting Path Mage. Dimir Cut Purse is an absolute necessary. Is outstanding and really gets you ahead. You know, he hits once or twice and it's basically game. This is what I use to make them hit, the Invisimancers. They're just nice because they give unblockable. But as far as Phantom Warriors go, I don't think I'm running any because I think these guys took their spot. Royal Assassin I'm not running. It's just too easy to play around, too easy to kill him. Scroll Thief, good way to get ahead. Soul Manipulation, again, you can choose one or both of them. Counter target creature spell, or return target card from a graveyard to your hand. Creature card from a graveyard to your hand. So you can counter a creature and return a creature, so it's a 2-for-1. It's awesome. Abyssal Scepter deals combat damage to a player. That player discards a card. Obviously, the theme of the deck is just advantage. Ashland the Extinguisher deals combat damage to a player. Choose target creature that player controls. He or she sacrifices that creature. So it's a good way to make your opponent sacrifice things. Baron Spite is a 2-for-1. I mean, guess it's technically a 1-for-1 because they can still play the creature, but you get 2 things off the field. They have to sacrifice 1 and return 1. So it's cool. It's a good way. I mean, they're obviously going to sacrifice the worst thing that you picked, but it works. Good. Flight of Fancy, just not there. Not that good. The Leash should definitely be in there. The Helms should definitely be in there. If a quick creature's or enchanted creature's blue, whenever it deals damage you draw a card. If it's black, they discard a card. So again, that theme of the advantage. Memory Plunder. You may cast an instant or sorcery card from your opponent's graveyard without paying their mana cost. So many decks don't play instants or sorceries, and so many instants and sorceries are just terrible, especially at turn 4. It's just, I don't like it. I'm playing the Marori just because he's a 4/4 flyer for 4 mana. And again, you can put things like the Helm on him or things like that and just get in there. I think I took out the Necromantic Thirst just because it's not a necessity, but it might actually be playable. But I don't think I like it. It's just too expensive. If your creature dies that it's equipped to, you just lose it, and it's just, I think it's just too expensive for it. And the creature has to be able to get in there. And it has to not die. Sangromancer. I'm playing whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you may pay 3, or you may gain 3 life, and whenever an opponent discards a card, you may gain 3 life. It's a good way to stay in the game, not to mention it's a 3/3 flyer for 4 mana, which isn't terrible. Shoreline Salvager, I'm not playing. I played up to a certain point, but it just got to the point where 4 mana for a 3/3 just was not cutting it. It actually has to do damage to draw a card, and it has really no way to get in for that damage. Unliving Psychopath, I think I'm not playing. I'm not playing. Here's why. In order to destroy a creature with 1 toughness, you have to pay 2 black and then 1 to kill it. 3 toughness requires 3 black, or 3 power. You can't even do 3 power. It's 2 or less, and it's just way too much mana to do. Dire Undercuts are just creatures. I think I may have read this wrong during the preview. It's whenever a blue creature enters the battlefield or a black creature. You don't have that many blue or black creatures. It's just spells. So, it's a good combo with the Followed Footsteps, but other than that, just, I'm not a fan of it. The Followed Footsteps absolutely have to be in this deck because there's a win condition with them that says, where are you? I'm going to play Laquadis' Champion and then Followed Footsteps on it. And just win the game that way. I don't have to attack. I can block and regenerate. And just do stupid things with it. Ghast Lord is unblockable and deals combat damage to a player. That player reveals his or her hand, you choose a card from it, and they exile it. Like that. So you just pick a card and it's gone. And you put the Helm on of him on there, and you're like, you discard 2 cards, and I draw a card. He's amazing. Definitely has to be in there. Grimgrin, super broken. Super broken. You really have to know what creature you can sacrifice. But if they put any enchantments on any creatures, you can just sacrifice those. Or you can play a crappy creature and sack it, like the unblockable guy that gives other creatures unblockable. You'd be like, boom, Grimgrin's unblockable. I'm gonna sack this guy to Grimgrin, untap him. Grimgrin's gonna attack and kill one of your creatures and hit you for a whole bunch of damage. Nemesis of Reason again. If you're playing with a mill deck, it's a good idea, but it just does not have a purpose in this deck, I don't think. It's big and scary, but it just doesn't work for me. Painful Quandary. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, that player loses 5 life unless he or she discards a card. Might be good in Arch Enemy, but again, I mean, your opponent's going to start saving lands to discard, so it's just not good. Ribbons of the Night is a kill card for you. You need to play it just because you don't have that many kill cards. Harvester of Souls, I'm not a fan of, just because you don't need him. He is big and scary. 5/5 Death Touch. Whenever another non-token creature dies, you may draw a card. So he has to kill something So if he dies, you draw 1 card. That's the way I looked at him. You don't have any way to excel him, so that by the time you play him for 6 mana, there's going to be something out there that can stand against him, and you're going to end up drawing 1 card off of him and killing a creature. But you're also going to lose a creature, so really it doesn't help you that much. Hellcarver Demon, I just don't like gambling. It's just that simple. If you like to gamble, play Hellcarver Demon. If you like losing the game after you should have won it, play Hellcarver Demon. So, you know, I just don't like him. Not to mention, I'm a good little Catholic boy, and I don't like the 6 mana for a 6/6 type thing. So, you know, no, it really doesn't bother me. But at the same time, it's just not a good card, period. Loquatus' Champion, again, is amazing. Regenerates. Your opponent loses 6 life. When he leaves the battlefield, they gain 6. I've never actually had Loquatus' Champion leave the battlefield because he usually just wins the game. You don't have enough vampires, nor do you have enough creatures for that to actually matter. Your creatures aren't big enough, so just, I'm playing Rexiel. Island Walk, Swamp Walk. Whenever Rexiel, the Risen Deep, deals combat damage to a player, you may cast an instant or sorcery card from their graveyard without paying your mana cost. If you do, or if that card would be put in a graveyard this turn, exile it instead. So I think mainly because of the Island Walk, Swamp Walk, and the gigantic ass that it has, is the reason I play it. That other ability is just a bonus. And then I'm just not paying the Mind Leech Mass. Deals combat damage to a player. You may look at the target player's hand. If you do, you may cast a non-land card from it without paying their mana cost. You just cost way too much mana. So that's our list. Just like that. Pretty standard removal things, I think. So we're looking at 4 Terramorphics, 4 Agony Warps, 2 Dimmer Guild Mages, 2 Ink Fathom Infiltrators, 1 Mask of Riddles, 2 Dimmer Cut Purse, 2 Invisimancers, 1 Scroll Thief, 1 Soul Manipulation, 1 Abyssal Scepter, Spectre, not Scepter, Spectre, 1 Ashling the Extinguisher, 2 Baron Spite, 1 Glenalandra Liege, 3 Helms of the Ghast Lord, 1 Mirori, and 3 Mirori, I don't know what I'm talking about, 1 Sangromancer, 2 Followed Footsteps, 1 Ghast Lord of the Fuge, 1 Grimgrin, 2 Ribbons of the Night, 1 Loquatus' Champion, and the Rexiel. So, let me know what you guys think of the deck. Let me know what you would change down below in the comments. I always like reading them and getting other people's opinions on cards, especially if I overlook something. I always like to know that. But if you guys enjoyed it, leave a like, a comment, let me know what you think. Again, until the next expansion, I'll see you guys later.